A seeker once came to Ramana Maharshi in Arunachala, his face lined with exhaustion. He had spent years in practice, meditation, study, ritual. He had traveled from ashram to ashram, teacher to teacher, carrying the same question like a stone in his chest. He sat before the master and asked, "What is the nature of consciousness?" Ramana did not answer immediately. He sat in silence, his eyes resting on the seeker with a gentleness that felt like recognition. Then he spoke, not with an answer, but with a question of his own. "Who is asking?" The seeker blinked. He had come for clarity, not more confusion. He said, "But Master, I came here to understand. I need to know." Ramana smiled softly. "The one who needs to know, who is that?" The seeker sat in silence, unsure how to respond. Ramana continued, "You search for consciousness as if it were an object hidden somewhere in the body or the mind. You imagine it is a state you can reach through effort, a feeling of peace or light that will one day descend upon you. But this search itself is the confusion." The seeker nodded slowly. "Yes. I thought if I meditated long enough, if I stilled my mind completely, I would finally experience it. I would finally know what consciousness is." Ramana's voice was calm, unhurried. "Then let us begin by understanding what consciousness is not." He paused, letting the words settle. "Consciousness is not the body. The body you had as a child is gone. The cells have changed. The skin has aged. The flesh you call yours today is not the flesh you called yours 10 years ago. But the one who witnessed the child's body, the one who witnesses this body now, has that witness ever changed?" The seeker hesitated. "No, the witness feels the same. Just so. The body changes, ages, decays, dies. But the witness of these changes remains untouched. So you are not the body." Ramana continued, "Consciousness is not the mind. The mind is like clouds drifting across the sky. Thoughts arise, thoughts dissolve. Yesterday you had thoughts that are gone today. Tomorrow you will have thoughts that do not exist yet. But consciousness, the vast sky in which these thoughts appear, does that ever come or go?" The seeker shook his head. "No, it remains. Just so. Thoughts move, change, disappear. But consciousness is the sky, unchanging, always present, untouched by what passes through it. You are not the thoughts. You are the sky that watches them drift." The seeker's voice grew quieter, almost uncertain. "Then what am I? If I am not my body, not my thoughts, not my feelings, am I nothing?" Ramana leaned forward slightly, his gaze steady. "You are not nothing. You are the presence that has never altered. The body you had as a child is gone. The thoughts you had yesterday are gone. The emotions you felt last year have dissolved. But the I that witnessed the child's body, that watched yesterday's thoughts, that felt last year's emotions, has that I ever moved?" The seeker sat very still. Something beneath the noise of his searching began to stir, not as an answer, but as a recognition. Ramana's voice softened. "Consciousness is not an experience. All experiences come and go. Joy arises and fades. Pain arrives and dissolves. Peace comes and leaves. But the one who knows these experiences, the one who is aware of joy, aware of pain, aware of peace, that one has never come or gone, that one is consciousness." The seeker's breath slowed. He asked, "But how do I find this unchanging I?" Where do I look? Ramana's answer was immediate, gentle, final. You do not find it. You are it. The search itself is the obstacle. The seeker leaned forward, his hands gripping his knees. Then what do I do? If the search is the obstacle, how do I stop searching? Ramana's eyes held a quiet light. You do not stop searching by effort. You see through the search. Ask yourself, who am I? Not as a mantra to repeat, not as a question to answer with the mind, but as a living inquiry that turns the attention back to its source. The seeker nodded, eager now. I am the one who is sitting here, listening to you. Ramana's voice was patient. And who is aware of the one sitting? Who observes the listener? The seeker paused. I am. Yes, but who is this I you speak of? Is it the body that sits? The mind that listens? Or something deeper? The seeker closed his eyes, trying to grasp it. I am the one who thinks. And who watches the thoughts? I do. Then you are not the thoughts. You are the watcher. But who is the watcher? The seeker opened his eyes, frustration creeping into his voice. Every time I think I have found it, it slips away. The I name is not the real I. Ramana's smile returned. Exactly. The I that can be named is not the true self. The true self is the one who remains when all names dissolve. He continued, his voice steady and clear. The body says, I am hungry. The mind says, I am thinking. The emotions say, I am angry. But who knows the hunger? Who knows the thinking? Who knows the anger? That witness, that is the I that cannot be named. That is consciousness. The seeker sat very still. Then how do I rest in it? Ramana's answer was simple. You already are. You have never left it. The question is not how to reach it, but how to stop pretending you are something else. The seeker's voice dropped to a whisper. But I feel so identified with my thoughts, my body, my life. How do I break free? You do not break free. You see that you were never bound. Bondage is created by misidentification. You believe you are the wave, and so you fear dissolving back into the ocean. But you were always the ocean. The wave is just a temporary shape. The seeker asked, Can you give me an example? Something I can hold on to? Ramana nodded. Imagine a movie projected on a screen. The seeker's attention sharpened. He knew the image well. Ramana continued. On the screen, there is fire, water, joy, suffering. Armies march across the landscape. Lovers embrace. Cities burn to ash. Heroes rise and fall. But tell me, does the fire burn the screen? Does the water wet it? Does the joy make the screen happy? The seeker shook his head. No, the screen is untouched. It only reflects what is projected upon it. Just so, the body is the movie, the mind is the movie, the world is the movie, but you, consciousness, you are the screen. The seeker's breath caught. So all my suffering, all my searching, all my confusion, these are just movements on the screen? Yes, and the screen has never been disturbed by any of it. The screen does not cling to the drama. It does not resist the tragedy. It does not celebrate the triumph. It simply is. The seeker's voice trembled slightly. But if I am the screen, why do I feel so identified with the movie? Why does the pain feel so real? Ramana's gaze was unwavering. Because you have forgotten the screen and believed yourself to be the character in the movie, you have mistaken the reflection for the reality. You watch the character suffer and think, I am suffering. You watch the character succeed and think, I am successful. But the screen was never the character. The screen was always just the screen. The seeker asked, "Then how do I remember I am the screen?" You do not remember, you inquire. When suffering arises, ask, "To whom does this suffering come?" When joy arises, ask, "To whom does this joy come?" The answer will always be, "To me." Then ask, "Who am I?" Do not accept any answer the mind gives. Keep asking until the question itself dissolves. Ramana's voice grew softer, almost a whisper. Freedom is not found by changing the movie. Freedom is realizing you were never the movie. You were always the screen. The seeker sat in silence. The weight of years of seeking began to lift, not because he had found an answer, but because he had stopped believing in the question. Ramana's final instruction was clear. Do not take this as philosophy. Inquire. Ask, "Who am I?" until the question itself dissolves. What remains is the answer, not in words, but in being. The seeker bowed, no longer searching for an answer outside himself. The seeker walked away, not with new knowledge, but with the recognition of what was always present. Consciousness is not attained. It is realized as the ground of all experience. The search ends where it began, in the silent witness that has never moved.